Om Shanti. Respond please. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
अभी देखो क्या सीन ड्रामा में है देखना.
See how the scene of the drama is.
पर उसको कोई कमेंट देना हो तो भले देवे पीछे. Okay?
Okay? Is everyone okay?
Okay?
Is everyone okay? Translation okay?
इंटरव्यू से पहले थोड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन करना है.
Before the interview, we'll have a little bit of an introduction as to what is the aim of this interview. As per the present time, the scene of the world and the scenes in the yajna, the form of the yajna is changing rapidly. And at this time, it's almost like the transition phase. And during the time of the transition, how should our stage be? And Dadiji has been repeatedly telling us in her classes about this. Yesterday evening's class, in which Dadiji especially highlighted renunciation and tapasya, the attitude of renunciation and tapasya. And so internally I felt that during this time of transition, I have to really awaken the power of transformation in the soul, and that is dependent on my attitude. And hence the aim of this interview is the aim of the interview is to understand the attitude shift. When we are physically ill, then the doctors also say that the medicines work only 20 or 30%, but the power of transformation and recovery is based on our attitude. And hence, yesterday, Dadi focused a lot on this attitude shift. And so today we will look at the definition of renunciation and tapasya, and we want to go into the depth of both these words. Is John there from Mexico?
Where's John? Brother John, would you like to come to the front?
यहाँ बैठा जाओ.
John, there's a space in the front. Here.
यहाँ
दादी इनके पास हेडसेट नहीं है. Can somebody loan an FM to John? Yeah, they're bringing it to you.
वहाँ एक सीट खाली पड़ी है. चलो ठीक है.
Yeah, okay.
अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
नहीं, अभी प्रश्न पूछेंगे.
Now they'll
Introduction
ask you a question. I only highlighted the aim of the interview.
Dadi, the first aspect is renunciation. And often we think renunciation means giving something up. You know, I have to give up this, I have to give up that. And that often creates a feeling of heaviness. But Dadi's been talking about renunciation differently this time. It's more about the energy of experiencing inner purity, virtues and fullness to make a deep shift inside and finish all complaints. So can Dadi describe this further, this whole aspect of this new energy of renunciation based on fullness and self-appreciation, which makes transformation easy?
तो दादी, हम सोचते हैं कि त्याग माना कुछ छोड़ना है, कुछ गिव अप करना है. तो हम सोचते हैं मेरे को ये गिव अप करना है, ये छोड़ना है, ये छोड़ना है. तो इसमें हमारी वृत्ति में भारीपन आ जाती है. लेकिन दादी ने अभी 2-3 बारी त्याग, आपने त्याग का परिभाषा थोड़ा अलग रूप से दिया है कि आपके अंदर में जाके अपनी खुद की पवित्रता को, प्यूरिटी को एक्सपीरियंस करके, संपन्नता को एक्सपीरियंस करके एक फुलनेस, अंदर की एक फुलनेस माना ले आनी है और सेल्फ अप्रिशिएशन करना है, ताकि टोटल हमारी वृत्ति में जो छोटी छोटी बातें हैं, कंप्लेंट्स है, वो उसको ख़त्म कर देवे। तो दादी क्या इस पे और थोड़ा बता सकते हैं कि ये जो नई एनर्जी है त्याग की, कि छोड़ने की एनर्जी नहीं है लेकिन संपन्न बनने की एनर्जी है।
आप लोगों का क्वेश्चन
Your question
इतना क्लियर है
is so clear
जो आंसर अगर मैं 2 शब्दों में दूं ना,
that even if I answer in
आप
2
समझ सकते
words,
हैं।
you will understand.
त्याग मानना ही है
The meaning of the word
जो
renunciation
बात
is that
ज्ञान मिला, समझ मिली,
once you acquired knowledge and understanding
मैं आत्मा हूँ,
that I am a soul,
तो देह अभिमान का त्याग हो गया।
that means the body consciousness is renounced.
पहले
Firstly,
बाबा हमेश कहते हैं
Baba always said
देह अभिमान और देही अभिमानी,
body consciousness and soul
ये
consciousness.
कॉन्ट्रास्ट बुद्धि में अच्छा हो।
This contrast has to be there in the intellect.
जब तक कि ज्ञान मार्ग में
On the path of knowledge,
अंदर ज्ञान मार्ग के मन रस ज्ञान के रास्ते पर चले हैं,
on the path of knowledge
मार्ग
meaning
कहा जाता है।
walking on the path of knowledge.
पहले अज्ञानता में थे,
First we were ignorant.
न आत्मा का ज्ञान था,
We
न
didn't know
परमात्मा
about
का
the
ज्ञान
soul,
था, न ड्रामा
neither
का ज्ञान
did we know about God, neither did we know about drama.
तीनों ज्ञान नहीं था।
We didn't have the knowledge of any of these
बाबा
3
ने
aspects.
आत्मा का,
Now
परमात्मा
Baba
का,
has
ड्रामा
talked
का ज्ञान
about
दिया है
the soul,
और संगम
about
युग।
the Supreme Soul, and about
संगम युग का
drama,
ज्ञान
which
बहुत
means that this
वैल्यूबल
is the
है।
confluence age, and the knowledge that we acquire in the confluence
त्याग होता
age
है संगम
is
युग
very
में
valuable.
ज्ञान से,
And renunciation
त्याग होता
happens
है
through this
आत्मा का,
knowledge acquired
परमात्मा
during the
शक्ति पाने
confluence
से।
age. Renunciation happens when the soul
परमात्मा
receives
शक्ति
power from the Supreme Soul.
हमारी कमियों कमजोरियों को खत्म करती है।
This godly power finishes our
अपने आप
weaknesses, and
त्याग मैंने
automatically.
क्या किया,
So what have I
मैंने अपने ऊपर
renounced?
बड़ा त्याग किया है।
It all happens
अब हम कहते हैं
automatically.
त्याग क्या किया है,
People ask us that you've renounced
गंदगी
so
से
much,
निकल करके
and we
अगर
answer
हम
them, what have I
साफ सुथरे
renounced?
बिस्तर में आकर बैठे हैं,
We've in fact
क्या
come
त्याग
out of
किया
the
है,
dirty world and come and
पहले हमसे
sat
त्याग क्या
down in a
किया
very
है,
pure, beautiful,
ये
clean
भाग्य
world.
है
This is our fortune. It's not
जो आप
renunciation at all.
अभी यहाँ बैठे हो।
It's your fortune
त्याग है
that you
ना,
are all sitting here. Is it renunciation?
परंतु जो जिसकी बुद्धि थोड़ी बाहर के कचरे में होंगी,
But
उसको
if
यहाँ
your
का आनंद
intellect
नहीं
is outside in the dirty world, then you
है।
will not
भाग्यवान वो
enjoy here.
जो यहाँ
The
बैठते ही
fortunate is one
समझे।
who understands as soon as he sits here.
ये छोटा मुन्ना
This little boy,
परसों बॉम्बे के सभा में
yesterday
इतना अच्छा कर
in
अनुभव सुना
Bombay,
दिया,
he shared such
इतना छोटा
beautiful experience. He's so young.
अभी भी बुलाएंगी,
And now also
इतना
I'll call
इतना अच्छा
him,
सुना लेता है।
and he shares
क्यों?
such beautiful experience. Why?
उसको थोड़ी समझ में आता है
He
कि
has
ये
little
सभा में कैसे सुनाऊं,
understanding of how
बड़ी
should I
सभा में क्या
share
सुनाऊं,
in this
अपने अंदर खुशी में
audience,
अपने
and
आप
depending on the
आता
audience,
है।
automatically words come from his mouth.
दूसरी बात है,
And the second
तपस्या भी कोई बड़ी
aspect,
चीज नहीं है,
that tapasya is not a big thing as well.
बहुत बड़ी तपस्या शब्द जो है ना,
The word tapasya
अच्छा पावरफुल है।
is a very powerful
याद है,
word.
योग
The word
तपस्या,
remembrance, the word yoga,
याद
and then
माना
tapasya.
हम
Remembrance
कोई भी
means
देहधारी व्यक्ति या वैभव की याद ना
that
आए।
I don't remember any bodily
एक
being
बाबा,
or anything, any
बाबा की
gross
पढ़ाई है
thing.
बड़ी अच्छी लगती है,
I only have one Baba in my
बड़ी
intellect,
अच्छी लगती है,
and
पढ़ाई में इतना मजा आता है,
I like his study so much. There's so much
कोई बात
enjoyment in
पढ़ाई
Baba's
याद कराती
study,
है।
and this study reminds us.
बाबा कहता है जो सुनते हो वो धारण करो, मंथन करो,
Baba says,
जब
whatever you
धारण करो
listen
मंथन
to,
करो
you have to imbibe
उसमें बुद्धि
that.
लग जाती है,
And if you imbibe it, then your intellect
याद तो क्या
understands it.
योग तो बस
And so then
एक बात याद
automatically
है,
you start
कुछ नहीं
remembrance.
नहीं कुछ
I
नहीं
have just one Baba and none other.
एक
None
मिनट के
other.
लिए देखो
For 1 minute, just look, Baba.
इतना आज मुझे कहा ऐसे फोटो निकालो
Today they
अगर मैं
asked
इसमें
me to
ऐसी
take a
क्यों कहा फोटो
photograph like
निकालो
this. And I said, why?
इतना मिला है
Baba, you've given us so
ये
much.
तपस्या है
This is tapasya.
याद
To be in the awareness of
योग
the
माना
fortune that we've received
रिलेशंस
from Baba. Remembrance means relation and connection.
तो त्याग माना भाग्य है
So renunciation is
भगवान
fortune,
से जो प्राप्ति है ना
the
उसमें
attainment that we
संपन्न
have
बनने का
received from
भाग्य मिल
God.
गया
And through that attainment, I got the fortune of
जो मेरी
becoming
कमियां
complete
कमजोरियां
and
थी
full.
बाबा का बनने से
Whatever weakness I
जो सुख
had
मिला है ना
has all been
मेरे अंदर जो दुख
removed
था
when
खत्म
I
हो गया
became Baba's.
बाबा का बनने
And
से
all the sorrow has finished.
जो सुख मिला है
The happiness that the soul has received when it became Baba's is immense,
बहुत सुख मिला है
is so much happiness.
मेरा तो दुख खत्म हुआ पर भावना अंदर ये है
My sorrow is finished completely, but my bhavna is that everybody's sorrow
इतना
should be
सुख मिला है
completely
इतना सुख
finished.
मिला है
I have received so much
जो
happiness
भावना फीलिंग
that bhavna
वो त्याग वृत्ति है
and that attitude of
भावना फीलिंग है
renunciation, bhavna is a
जो मुझे मिला
feeling,
है ना और वो
and
मिल गया
attitude, renunciation is an attitude.
दूसरी मुख्य बात
And so
है
I've received this
जो
bhavna.
रोज बाबा की मुरली में आता है हर एक मुरली पढ़ते
And in
हैं पर
every
मुरली
murli,
सुनते
Baba
हैं
talks about
उस
one
मुरली
thing.
पर मनन चिंतन करें
We listen in every murli that Baba asks us
देखें
to churn the jewels of knowledge
एक बात है
from the
मेरी
murli.
ये में
And
अंदर में
we need to check
लाइफ में मैंने
that how
यूज
much
किया
am
है
I able to imbibe the jewels of knowledge in my
कहाँ
life
किया
and
है
use it in my life in a practical way.
ईश्वर के
They are the
महावाक्य
jewels
है
of knowledge,
तो त्याग
godly
वृत्ति से
versions.
ऐसा ऐसा अंदर मंथन चलता है
And so, with the attitude of renunciation, this
मन
kind of churning takes place in the mind.
ऑटोमेटिक उसमें लग जाता है
The
खुशी नहीं
mind
होता है परंतु मन
automatically
मौज में आ
gets
जाता है
engaged in this activity and enjoys it.
इसलिए
And hence,
सिर्फ इसका क्या है
the
हमें
only
क्वेश्चन
thing
पूछते
is
हैं
that when
पर
somebody
ये बात
asks a
अभी तक कईयों को
question,
समझ में क्यों नहीं आई है
but so many haven't understood
मैंने कहा
this as
बुद्धि तक
yet,
समझा है जीवन
it's
तक
because
जानने का
you've understood it with your
अंदर जो अगर
intellect,
पुरुषार्थ
but
वो
you
बुद्धि
haven't
है
made the intense effort
इसलिए
to
अलग बेलाई में
inculcate,
अच्छी तरह
imbibe
से
it
टाइम वेस्ट
into
होता
your
है
actions and bring it
अभी
into your
अलग
life in
बेलाई
a
को समझ
practical
के
way. And
टाइम वेस्ट
so,
मत करो टाइम का
don't
करो
waste your time. Value your
जब
time
टाइम का
and
कदर
give up
करेंगे तो
laziness.
कोई भी
When you
karma
value
बंधन
your time, then you will have no
आपको
bondage
खींचेगा
of
नहीं
any karma, and
बंधन
no
मुक्त
bondage can ever pull you. You will become free.
पुरुषार्थ तीव्र
You need to make intense effort.
लगन इतनी ऐसी हो जो
Your
अग्नि का काम करे
and that should
सरल
generate
सहज
the fire of yoga,
फ्री
so that everything happens in a very easy manner, in a very free
जैसे
manner,
गुलाब का फूल की
just
तरह
like
से
the rose flower.
बाबा से शक्ति की खुशबू लेकर के
Just like a rose flower is fragrant, so take the fragrance of power from Baba.
दे नहीं रहे हो ले रहे हैं
You're not actually giving
गुलाब कहता
anything,
थोड़ी मेरे
you're
से लो
taking.
पर ऑटोमेटिकली
Just like the
खुशबू आ
rose
जाती है
doesn't really say that take from me, but you
समझा
automatically you
ठीक है fine है
experience the fragrance
Did
of
you
the
get an answer
rose.
for this?
हाँ तो ऐसे लो
So did you get an answer for
ठीक
this?
है ठीक है अच्छा बोलो
दादी आपने अभी दो बातें अच्छी तरह से बताई
Dadi, you just
कि त्याग का आधार
highlighted two
है
things
complete
very
समझ
clear.
समझ
और
That the
complete
basis for
सर्वशक्तिवान
renunciation is
समझ
complete
निश्चय
understanding,
के आधार से
and
हम
secondly,
नेचुरल
it's the
ऑटोमेटिक
ability
त्याग
to
आता है
draw
ऐसे हम
complete
चूक जाते हैं
powers from Baba.
और हमको लगता है कि जब भी
And
कंप्लीट
we
समझ और
feel
कंप्लीट
that
शक्ति आती
when
है
we have
तो
complete power and
अंतरात्मा में
complete understanding,
अप्रिशिएशन बढ़ता
then the quality of appreciation within the soul increases. And I start appreciating my own fortune, my part, and the part of others. So, as per the present times, this is a feeling that we all have sometimes of not being acknowledged, not being appreciated, not being asked for, not being taken care
छोटे
of.
मैं बताऊं
So, will you highlight on
अंदर
this,
अंदर डीप
on
जाकर
this
देखो
aspect of appreciation? So, Dadi says,
ये
go
ईमान
deep
स्थिति का
within.
अनुभव नहीं है तब ये से ख्याल आता
You have to experience soul consciousness, and when you don't have this experience,
है आज
you
मैं
start having all these
वही
feelings.
बात पर
Today,
विचार किया
I thought about a
दुनिया
particular
वाले जो भी
aspect
काम करते हैं
that whatever the people outside in
आज
the
की दुनिया
world
में
do, especially in the present
चाहे
times,
सारी जान देते हैं
they give all their lives for
नाम
it.
कमाने के लिए
They only do it to earn a name and fame.
हमारा नाम विश्व में
The only thing that they're interested is my name should be
और यहाँ क्या
highlighted, I
है
should become
नाम
famous.
कमाने के लिए कोई काम करता है ना
And here,
उसमें उसको
if you do anything with the intention of earning a name for yourself, you will not get the response, the same kind of response like the one in the world gets. And so then our intellect starts that if I were in the world, I would have got so much appreciation. But here, whatever I do, I don't get any appreciation.
नाम
But
कमाने
you're
की
not
जो
working here,
अंदर
you're
से
actually serving.
अभिमान है
So if you have this intention to earn a name for yourself, then it's your ego,
मनी थोड़ी कम होंगी
it's your body consciousness.
यहाँ कंफर्टेबल नहीं होंगे मान कहाँ से नहीं मिलेगा
If you don't
फिर
have
समझेंगे
respect, if you
कोई
don't get
मेरा
respect,
कोई मेरे जैसा मेरे
then you
जैसा
will
कोई
start
है
feeling
नहीं
lonely and you'll start feeling
मेरे जैसा कोई है नहीं अरे
you'll
मेरे
start
मेरे
feeling
बाप जैसे बाप को
lonely.
देखना है ना
And you have to
ऐसे बाप को
only look
देखना
at
है
one
जो
Baba.
मेरे को बाप ने क्या सिखाया
Just
मैं
see
ये
what
करता
Baba
हूँ
has taught me and what am I doing.
मैं कौन
When
हूँ
you have this thought that I am doing this, ask
ये
yourself,
जो
who am I?
मैं का अभिमान है ना
This consciousness of
वो
I
अपमान की फीलिंग कराता है
will bring an insult, the feeling of insult.
मैं का अपमान चला जाए
When this consciousness of
हमारे
I
बाबा ने
is gone, look at
अपने
Baba.
साकार रूप में होते
When he
हुए
was in his Sakar form,
बच्चों के द्वारा भी
through his
इतना प्यार
children,
रिगार्ड नहीं पाया
he didn't
बार बार
receive so
छोड़ो
much regard. Forget, not even
बाबा
through
ने
his
कहा
own children, he
साकार
received
होते ही
regard.
उसको
Forget
कोई नहीं
about
पहचानेगा
the outsiders in the
उनमें से
world.
सिर्फ थोड़ों ने
And
पहचाना
Shiv Baba had actually
ये
said
कैसा
that
है
nobody would
कौन
recognize
है
this
कैसा है
soul.
तो ये
Very few of
मानवता
us recognized who he was.
से जो कार्य
But he
करता
had
है
no
वो ईश्वरी
intention
कार्य नहीं है
to earn a name for himself. It was
गहरी
godly
बात है
service. And so,
ईश्वर
if
का
you
बच्चा
work with the
हूँ
intention of earning a
ईश्वरी
name for
कार्य में
yourself,
हूँ
then you're not in godly service
यज्ञ
anymore.
सेवा कर रहा हूँ यज्ञ
I
में
am
जो
the
निकल
child
रहा
of
है
God.
इस यज्ञ का मैं खा
I
रहा
am
हूँ
serving
यज्ञ में
in
भोजन
the
करा रहा
yajna. The
हूँ
yajna belongs
यज्ञ
to
में
my
खिला रहा
father.
हूँ
And I'm
तो
eating
सुख
from
भी
the
बहुत
yajna.
है
And I'm experiencing a
कोई
lot of
मान भले
happiness.
अपमान भी करे पर मेरे को
Even
अंदर
if
पर्सनल
someone
खुशी है
insults me, personally, I have so much happiness inside.
समझा पर्सनल खुशी मेरे पास पर्सनल
Personal
खुशी है
happiness, the
भले
stock of
मुझे कोई
personal
कुछ
happiness
न पूछे पर
is
मुझे
so
कोई
much. It needs to
कटुक्ति की
be
बात नहीं करनी
increased.
मेरे पास है
There's
I'm
nothing
getting
I
a
have to feel
sense
sorrowful about.
that with renunciation there's a great deal of honesty that goes with it. And having seen Dadi for near enough 30 years, Dadi has many specialities, but honesty is one of the key ones that I've seen in Dadi. So, and Dadi's journey of honesty has helped her to get to that stage of being beyond. So, my question is, what's the deep connection, or is there a deep connection between renunciation and honesty? And can Dadi describe the honesty, that level of honesty, so we can become like Dadi?
आप जो अभी बात उठाई उससे मेरे को लगता है कि सच्चाई की ज़रूरत बहुत है हमारे पुरुषार्थ में और आपकी जो जीवन कहानी है उसमें हमने देखा है कि सच्चाई नंबर 1 है आपने बहुत ज़ोर दिया है सच्चाई पर तो क्या है ये गहरा कनेक्शन त्याग और सच्चाई से और हमने देखा है कि आपकी जो सच्चाई है आपकी जीवन में आपको त्याग की वो वृत्ति बनाई है लेकिन उपराम वृत्ति भी बनाई है तो आप ये इस कनेक्शन त्याग और सच्चाई का कनेक्शन बताइए ताकि हम आप जैसे बन सके
सुनो, अब मेरे को सामने नहीं रखो ना।
Now, don't keep me in
आप
front.
एग्जाम्पल हो,
It's not about me.
प्रैक्टिकल तो
ऐसा
एग्जाम्पल
मिसाल आप ही
आप
But
हो
you're a
ना।
practical example, isn't it, Dadi?
मिसाल ये मिसाल है एक
It's an
एक
example.
सुनो, मैं जे अंदर पुरुषार्थ ने और कुछ पुरुषार्थ करूँ, एक किसको मिसाल रख देखना
If you
है
have
जो
to see an example,
जैसे कभी कोई बिजनेस वाले होते हैं,
sometimes
अच्छी
when there
चीज
are
दिखाते
business
हैं
persons, when they show
तो कहते हैं
something
ये
nice and you
कहाँ से
like
बनी है,
it,
किसने
and
बनाई
they
है,
start inquiring who made it, from where
बनाई
did you
नहीं
get
है,
it?
किसने बनाई है,
So, who has made
उसमें
me?
लग जाए
So, if your
तो मेरी
intellect
भावना
is
है।
in the one who
सच्चाई
created me,
माना ही है,
that is honesty.
जरा भी दे अभिमान न हो,
Honesty means there should be no trace of body
सिखलाने वाला
consciousness.
कराने वाला बाबा है।
The one who teaches, the one who inspires
जो
is
हम कर
Baba.
रहे हैं,
What we are
जो
doing,
सोचते भी हैं,
even what we are thinking,
उसमें भी मिक्सचर न हो।
there should be no mixture in it.
सोच में भी मिक्सचर
No mixture in our
कहीं
thought.
है, सिद्ध कर, मैंने जो
A,
आपको बोला ना,
a lot of people
सिद्ध
try to
कैसे करना है,
justify things.
तुम
No,
समझो नहीं,
when I
मैंने कोई ऐसी
say
बात
something
तो
to
सिद्ध
you,
करेंगे,
they'll
ऐसे नहीं
start
करना।
justifying it by saying, oh, this is what I meant, this was what I wanted to say.
सच कभी
You
सिद्ध
don't need to
नहीं होता है,
justify because honesty
अपने
cannot
आप
be
सब काम
justified.
करता है।
It is automatically revealed and it works.
एक है सच्चाई की शक्ति,
One
पर्सनल,
is the power of
ये भी पर्सनल
honesty,
अपना
and
अंदर
that's a
अंदर
personal experience.
डीप जाकर
You need to go deep
थोड़ा संकल्प
within
में मिक्सचर न हो।
and check that there should be no mixture in our thoughts.
जरा भी न हो,
It shouldn't be even in minute
देह के संबंध की
percentage.
न हो, कोई वैभव की न हो,
No,
कोई इच्छा न हो,
no
जो एक
thought of
इच्छा
any
मात्र,
desire,
इस इच्छा
no
की विद्या ही
thought of
नहीं
any
है,
relationship of the body, just
मेरी
going
संकल्प में
beyond
स्वच्छता हो,
desires. My thoughts should be so
सच्चाई
pure,
पीछे
so
है,
clean.
स्वच्छ जो आज दिन में बोला था, स्वच्छता पहले है,
Cleanliness is first,
स्वच्छता
honesty is second.
बीमार होने नहीं देंगी।
If I'm clean, I will not fall
जैसे इसने
ill.
बोला,
Just like he
तुमने
said,
बोला
you
भाई
said
डॉक्टर भी कहेंगे
that the doctors also say
सारी बीमारी का दवाई 20%
that
30%
the
होंगी,
medicines only
जो
work
इलाज
20 to
है
30%,
ठीक रखना।
but the real
ये प्रैक्टिकल मेरा अनुभव है।
the real thing is to have a pure
बाबा
attitude.
की भी जो है,
This is my
जो
practical
दवाई बाबा जो देता
experience, and
है,
also the medicine
ये
that
सब
Baba
तभी करेंगे
gives
जब हमारा
will
एटीट्यूड के
work
अंदर जो वृत्ति है, जो भावना
only
हो।
when our
बाबा ने कहा ना हो
attitude
गया, ठीक है,
becomes
बाबा ने कहा
pure.
अरे हो गया,
And the
ड्रामा ने
attitude should
कहा,
be such that Baba is doing
बाबा ने
everything.
कहा,
It was as
तो
per
ड्रामा बाबा
drama.
कहेंगे ड्रामा जी
See, Baba had
ड्रामा में,
said it and it
बाबा ड्रामा
worked.
में
This is
तभी हुआ
my
जब आपने
attitude.
मदद की ना,
And
तो एक
something
कदम
happened in the
यहाँ
drama.
ड्रामा में
Baba always
जो हुआ सिस्टर
gives
फला,
credit to the drama, but
बस
something happened in the
दवाई
drama, Baba, because you helped.
कोई एक्टर के लिए गिला नहीं मन में न रखो,
Don't have bad feelings towards any
कोई भी
actor in
ड्रामा
the
में होता
drama.
है,
As per
बाहर में
drama,
तो किसकी
outside
महिमा
in the
करेंगे, किसकी
world,
गिला नहीं
they
करेंगे,
have appreciation for some
यहाँ
souls and they
हमारे
have
अंदर
uh,
न किसके लिए गिला
bad
नहीं हो,
feelings for other
न
souls.
किसके लिए प्रभाव हो,
But check that we
तो
should
ये
not
बहुत अच्छा
have
है।
any bad feelings
ये
for
जो
any soul, neither should we get
ऐसी शक्ति
influenced
भी
by
हमारे
any
अंदर,
soul.
ये भेदभाव
We should never have any kind of discrimination
परमात्मा की
at
शक्ति खींचने
all.
नहीं देगा।
If we have these things, then we will
परमात्मा
not be
शक्ति
able to
हमारे
pull
अंदर
God's
जो
power.
भेदभाव की बीमारी है,
So, this illness of discrimination
भेद से
that we
देखना
have within,
बीमारी है, बाकी
this,
इतना जरूर है,
this illness of
ये
being
हमारा फर्ज
partial
कहता
and to
है,
get influenced, that's an
जो कोई बाबा
illness.
की सेवा करता है,
And this
वो
is our
पुरुषार्थ करते अच्छा
duty
करते,
that whoever is in
हम
Baba's
क्या करेंगे
service
ऐसे भी
is
नहीं है,
very good. And
जो उस पे
whatever
लग
duty
गए,
he is doing
दादी
is very good.
अच्छा की, ये मेरा कोई खर्च
I
नहीं है,
never
तो
ask
मैं
him, what
अपने
are you
बाबा
doing
को
and why
नहीं
did you do
करती,
this?
लेकिन भावना अगर उसकी
But
मैं
if
कहती
his
हूँ हाँ अच्छा
bhavna
किया
is in the
और
service
आगे
of the
चल के
yajna, then I
भावना
definitely
कैच करती है,
appreciate that soul,
है,
so
ये
that
हमारा फर्ज है,
he catches my pure
ये हमारा
intention, my
फर्ज है,
pure bhavna, and then he
एक
is
दो के पास
inspired to do
भावना
more
रखना,
service. So this is our
बहुत एक पे नहीं
responsibility
करना,
to have, to
क्या
not
होता है बहुत
expect too
एक्सपेक्ट करने
much
से
from others
इसको ये
and to
करना चाहिए,
have
इसमें
good bhavna
ये भी
for
मेरा
everybody.
अभिमान है,
Yes, if I expect too much from others,
तो
that's
मैं
also
सूक्ष्म बात
having
है,
body consciousness.
एक तो बाबा
It's a
की याद
very
में
subtle thing. One, always be
पर्सनल
in Baba's
आत्मा का
remembrance.
रिलेशन बाबा का ऐसा हो जैसा बाप वैसे बच्चा,
and make sure that my effort is always
बाबा का बच्चा हूँ
such that as the
ऐसा
Father, so am
रिलेशन
I. My
जैसे बाप
relationship
ऐसे
with
बेटा
Baba should be such that as the Father, so am I.
पर एक्शन
But my action,
बाबा जब सभा में आता है
when Baba comes into the
सबको
gathering,
कितना प्यार करता है
he loves all of us so much.
बाबा की दृष्टि में हर बच्चा अच्छा है हर बच्चा
In
अच्छा है
Baba's drishti and vision, every child is good.
हमारी भी एक्शन ऐसा हो ना
Our actions should also be such that there
बाबा
is
का बच्चा हूँ
appreciation
मैं
for every soul in our actions.
फॉलो करूँ ना
Because
बाबा
I
को
am also a child of God and I have to
वो
follow
तभी
the
होगा जब
Father,
मेरे अंदर में
don't I?
बिल्कुल
And that can only be possible when there is
स्वच्छता होगी
absolute cleanliness inside.
तो संकल्प में सच्चाई काम साका में कर देंगी
And so I have to have
स्वच्छता
honesty
नेचुरल
in my
होगी
thoughts, and in a natural
प्रैक्टिकल
way,
मैं कहती हूँ
there should
सभी
be
ब्राह्मणों को कहती
cleanliness.
हूँ
And I say this
किसके
practically
लिए
to
मन
every
बुरा मत
Brahmin.
रखो
Please don't have any
भले
bad
बुरा किया भी
feelings,
है
any
उसने
negative feelings for
वो जाने
any
दो
other soul, any other Brahmin.
तो
Even if
उसके
they
लिए
have done some wrong action, it's their karma and they know and God knows. But you should
किसके लिए
always
भी
think
बुरा मत
positive
सोचो
for every soul. Don't
ये
think
बुरा
negative
मत
for
सोचा
any
थोड़ा
soul.
भी बुरा सोचा ना
Even if you think
वो बुराई
little
मेरे अंदर चली
negative,
गई ना
that
अच्छे
negative will
सोचने
go
को
within you.
भाग्य का खलास हो गया
And your fortune to think positive will finish
अच्छा
forever.
सोच में सोच जरूरत नहीं अच्छे संकल्प में
In a
से
pure
संकल्प
thought,
में रहने का भाग्य मिले
it's a fortune to stay in pure thoughts.
जिससे औरों का भी भला हो
And the fortune is such
बुद्ध
that it'll
साकार
bring
में बाबा
benefit
ने
to
एक बार
others.
कहा
In Sakar, Baba once
बेटी
said,
ऐसे सब
Child,
भी उठा के
he raised his finger like this and said
तेरे भाने
that
सर्व का भला
because of you, everybody will benefit.
मतलब ऐसा अंदर से भावना रखो
And so you
क्योंकि
have
हमारे
such
निमित्त
bhavna from within
औरों का भला होवे
that
तो
because of
ऐसी
you,
सच्चाई से भावना रखनी
others will
वो
benefit. You become
भावना
an
तभी काम
instrument to
करेगी जब
bring
सफाई
benefit
होगी
to others. And your
सफाई की
bhavna will only
पवित्रता
work when there's cleanliness inside, when you're clean. And
इतना
being
अच्छा
clean
बन जाए
means
ना
having no
प्रभु
negative
का
thought
प्यारा
for any soul.
दुनिया
So
में
let's become
ब्राह्मणों में भी
so
लगेगा
good that we become lovely. Even within
मान
the Brahmin
मांगा नहीं
family, everybody
पर मानने में
recognizes
क्वालिटी बन गई
us to be so lovely.
जैसे
We
हमारे
don't
पूर्वज है
ask for
मांगा
anything.
नहीं किसी ने
None of our
पर
ancestors
मानन में
asked for anything, but they
योग्य
became
बन गए
worthy of respect.
तो अपना पुरुषार्थ सच्चाई से करने से
So make an
मानन में
honest
योग्य बन
effort,
जाता है
and then you will become
गाना योग्य
worthy
बन
of
जाता है
respect, worthy of
राम बाबा
praise.
का
You don't
पूजनीय योग्य बन
ask to be
जाता है
praised, but you become worthy of praise.
थोड़े भी सबसे बड़ी बीमारी है
The
मान्यता
greatest
अपमान की
illness
फीलिंग
is the feeling of insult
जैसे कल बोला चल रहा है
and
मंडोर का मन ना
asking for
वैसे कभी
praise. Just like yesterday,
मान्यता
I
की
talked about
बीमारी
being shakable
कभी
and the
कभी भी
intellect being mischievous.
अंदर स्वमान रहने
Similarly,
नहीं देंगी
if you
वो
have this
मानन्य बनने नहीं
illness
देंगी
of asking for
तो औरों के
praise,
दिल में मेरे लिए मान पैदा होवे ना
then it
नहीं
will
होगा
never allow you to
तो
stay in your
सम्मान में
stage of
रहने के
self
लिए
respect.
मेरे पास इतना खजाना है
And if you don't stay in
वो
your
मैं
self
छोड़ करके
respect, you will feel
थोड़ा
insulted.
सम्मान मांग रही हूँ
And what Baba's given me the treasure of
क्या
self
मैं
respect,
इतनी
and I'm
हाई
letting
क्वालिटी
go
की
of that high quality of self respect and asking for
रॉयल्टी
this
फैमिली
little
की
bit of respect from others.
रियलिटी में रहने वाली मैं
Is
अगर
that a sign
थोड़ा
of a
सम्मान की इच्छा
royal soul?
शोभता नहीं है
It just doesn't, it's not graceful.
ठीक है सबको ठीक लग रहा है
Is it okay? Are you feeling it's
ठीक है
okay?
ना
दादी ये बहुत अच्छा पिक्चर आपने बताया
That you
कि
gave us a very
अंदर
clear
वृत्ति में एक
picture
स्वच्छता होनी
that we should
चाहिए
have cleanliness
साफ
in our
रखनी है
attitude, and
तभी
it should always
वृत्ति में
be
एक भावना
clean
पैदा
so that
होंगी
this bhavna is
संबंध बाबा के
awakened,
साथ जो संबंध है
which
वो
allows
संबंध
us
द्वारा एक
to have
अच्छी भावना
the
जिसके द्वारा
relationship
औरों का
that we
भला हो
have
सके
with Baba.
ऐसी भावना पैदा होंगी
This
तो दादी
awakens a
इसमें
very
थोड़ा
pure
और गहराई
bhavna
में जाना
through
चाहते
which
हैं
we can bring
कि
benefit to
एक
others.
संबंध
So
है
we want to go
हमारी
more into the
वृत्ति
depth of this
हमारी
aspect.
भावना
The one
और हमारे
is
मन
our
ये तीनों का
attitude,
संबंध एक
our
गहरा है
bhavna, and our mind.
वृत्ति
Attitude,
भावना
bhavna,
और मन
and mind.
अच्छा ठीक
और
है
क्या
All
है
these three
कभी कभी
have a
योग में
deep
बैठते हैं
relationship with
कोई
each
तो
other. And when we sit in
मन की
yoga,
परेशानी होती है
and when there's
और
something
वास्तव
going
में
on in the
मन
mind
कुछ
is a
अलग
little
हस्ती नहीं
troubled,
है लेकिन हम कुछ अलग समझ करके
And
उससे डर
sometimes the
जाते
mind is
हैं।
not separate
तो
from us,
ये
but
जो
we
मन
think it's
है दादी,
something separate, and
और
we
मन
sort
और
of get,
एटीट्यूड
we
और
become
फीलिंग्स का
fearful of the
कनेक्शन,
thoughts in the
ताकि हम
mind.
अंदर
So, what's
हमारी
the
संकल्प
connection
शक्ति
between
को इतना
the mind
मजबूत बनाए
and the feelings and the
तो हम
attitude,
उससे
so that
हमको
we
बल मिल
actually
सके,
strengthen the
इस पे
power
आप
of our
और
thoughts
गहराई में जा
so much
सकेंगे?
that we experience that power? So, can you go into depth of this aspect?
मैं भले अभी करती हूँ स्पष्ट
I will clarify
और
this,
अच्छा है,
and it's good.
लेकिन आप लोग जो है ना
However,
ज्ञान को अच्छी तरह से बैठ के
you should,
मनन चिंतन नहीं किया है, तब ये क्वेश्चन है।
you haven't churned knowledge properly, and that's why you're asking this question.
परंतु अभी फिर भी मैं
But anyway, since
अच्छा
you've
है, बहुत
asked,
अच्छा है।
it's good.
जब मैं भक्ति मार्ग में थी,
When I was on the path of
सब वेद
devotion,
शास्त्र पढ़ा था, सब साधु
I
संतों
had
के
read
लेक्चर
all
सुना था,
the Vedas and I had listened to the
कईयों ने ये भी
lectures of
कहा था आत्मा शरीर छोड़ती है, धारण
all the
करती है,
gurus, and many of them said that the
परंतु
soul
उसके
leaves
बाद
one body and takes another body.
उलझन वाली ये थी, कोई कहे परमात्मा है ही
But,
नहीं,
but
कोई
the
कहे
point of
परमात्मा है,
confusion was God. Some people said God
कोई
didn't
कहे सब में
exist,
परमात्मा
while
है,
others said God existed in everybody.
या है ही नहीं, या
Either
सब
he
में
was there,
परमात्मा है।
or he was not there,
ऐसी
or he
बात
was
को
in
क्या
everyone. And so there was a
अच्छा कौन जा
confusion.
रहा था अंदर,
It was quite a confusion about this whole
आखिर
topic of
मैं
God.
कौन हूँ, परमात्मा कौन है?
And I had this question that who am I in reality
ये
and who is
बात
God?
परमात्मा के सिवाय कोई बताता ही नहीं, जो आज
And
बाबा
nobody
सत्य
can
बताते हैं,
clarify this except for
कोई नहीं
God
सुना सकता।
Himself. Nobody
अगर
else
इस
can tell us
आज की
this.
मुरली को ही लेकर के
If
सोच
you look
लीजिए,
at today's Murli and if you
परमात्मा
think about it, I am a
कोई नहीं
soul.
बताता,
Nobody tells us
मेरा
this.
परमात्मा, मेरे मन को बहुत अच्छी लगी ये बात,
My God, nobody tells us this.
मन
And
का कहा नहीं जाता,
I really liked what Baba said
जो
in
मन ही
today's Murli.
भटकता था ना,
When the mind was wandering,
उसमें भी बाबा के ये साकार में बाबा ने
when
जो
Baba
हम
was
लोगों
in
को आत्मा
Sakar,
का परिचय दिया,
and he
मन
gave
बुद्धि
us the
संस्कार,
introduction of the soul,
आत्मा में
and he
नंबर दिया
talked
जाता है, पहले
about the
मन,
mind, intellect, and
बुद्धि फिर
sanskars.
संस्कार,
So he gave it
और
numbers.
पहले
First is
जो
the
हमारा
mind, and then
मन
is the
बुद्धि और
intellect,
संस्कार
and then is
बने
the
हुई है,
sanskars. And the sanskars have been
पहले हमारे
created
पुराने
based on our
कर्मों के हिसाब से मन बुद्धि
mind
से संस्कार बने हुए
and
हैं,
intellect, and
अभी
based on our
मन
past
बुद्धि से
karma.
संस्कार चेंज हो रहे
And
हैं,
now, based on the divine mind and intellect,
उसमें एटीट्यूड वो बन
the
जाते हैं,
sanskars are transforming.
पहले मन से
So first, through the mind,
बाबा ने क्या सुनाया,
what did Baba
मन मना
talk
बाबा
about?
मनी बाबा में लग गया,
Baba said, Man Mana Bhav, meaning
बुद्धि
your mind
शुद्ध
is
शांत हो गई,
attached to that one.
संस्कार अभी वो बड़े अच्छे
And that made the
कलम पहले
intellect
वाले
peaceful.
शुद्ध शांत इमर्ज हो रहे हैं,
And hence
जो
I'm able to
अनादि
emerge
आदि
my
संस्कार,
original sanskars
अनादि
of the
ईश्वर की
last kalpa.
संतान, आदि है हम
I am a child
ब्रह्मा
of
बाबा
God.
की
That is my
संतान,
original
संस्कार
sanskars. I am
संस्कार वो भी
Brahma Baba's child. That
जिसके
is my
बच्चे बन गए वो
original
बन गए
sanskar.
हैं, अभी वो क्या हुआ है, जो मन ने बुद्धि ने
So whatever the mind
संस्कारों में
and the
घुस गए हैं,
intellect have fed
हमारी
into
वृत्ति
my
बड़ी
sanskars,
शुद्ध शांत हो गई
my
है,
now my attitude
फीलिंग
has become very
बड़ी
clean and
प्योर है,
pure.
भाववान है,
My feelings have become pure,
बाबा के लिए अति भावना है,
and I have developed
कुछ भी हो
so
जाए
much bhavna for Baba that no matter
भावना ने बहुत
whatever
काम किया है,
happens, bhavna has done
भावना
so
ने
much. It's done all
आदि
the
से आज
work.
दिन तक मुझे भावना
Right
ने यहाँ
from day
बिठाया,
one to here to this moment, it is bhavna that has brought me here and not
चलती
the
नहीं है,
intellect. My intellect doesn't work at all.
मन कहाँ भटकता नहीं है,
The mind doesn't wander
जो भावना
anywhere
बाबा ने बहुत सुख दिया है ना,
because Baba's
बाबा ने
given
सिर्फ
me
सिर पर
so
हाथ
much
रखा ना,
happiness and He's placed
न
His
सिर्फ अभी रखा
hand
दादी
on
का
my
जन्म होने
head.
पर,
And it's not
जब
just
ज्ञान
now
में
that
आई
He's
ना,
placed His hand on
बाबा
my
ने ऐसे
head.
सिर पर हाथ
He
रखा,
did that the day I came into Gyan.
तभी से लेकर
Till from that
कोई
day
ख्याल आया ही नहीं है
until
ना,
today, I haven't had any waste thought
बाबा ने सब भगवान मिला है ना,
because I found God
देखा है ना,
and I've seen Him.
बाबा मुझे ये अच्छा भावना वाला संकल्प बाबा के लिए भी जो है वो भी पूरा करता है,
And this bhavna
न सिर्फ सेवा में,
is not just for
भावना से
service.
कोई संकल्प करेंगी
But when I have a thought, a pure thought based on my
अपने
bhavna,
लिए करूं या
it
सेवा
is
के लिए,
always done, whether the
कई
thought is
बार
for
था जो मैं कुछ
myself or whether it's
बोलाएंगी
for
नहीं, पर
service.
भावना मेरी
Sometimes I don't
आ
really
जाती है,
call out to some soul, but I remember him with a very
भावना
pure bhavna. Automatically, that soul is
भावना
drawn
से
to come to me.
सारी
This is
ये
the
विश्व की सेवा
impact
हुई है
of
भावना से।
bhavna, of feelings.
तो दादी
The
गुलजार ने
entire
कल बताया
world has
मुझे,
been
दादी
served
कौन से
on
प्रोग्राम में मुझे
basis of
याद
this
दिलाया,
bhavna, feelings.
तो वो
Dadi
याद है
Gulzar
ना बाबा
just
ने तुमको
reminded
लंदन
me
क्यों
the other
भेजा,
day that, do you remember why Baba
मॉडल
sent you to
बनाने
London?
मधुबन का।
So that you make
ठीक
a
है,
model of Madhuban in
भगवान ने
London.
मेरे को हुक्म किया, मैंने
So
भावना
Baba ordered me, and he had this bhavna in
दादी
me,
गुलजार,
and
मैं
hence I
क्लास
said
लगा रही थी
Hanji.
लंदन में, दादी गुलजार को बिठाया, उस घड़ी लंदन की क्लास को बोला,
So today I just
मधुबन से
was speaking
जमा
to the
क्यों हो
London
आप,
class, and I asked them that you're the models
भावना,
of
बोले
Madhuban,
हाँ वाकई
aren't you?
भावना
So
है ना,
this is the
वही
bhavna,
हुआ
and
है ना,
this was the
ऐसे
godly
वासुदेव जी
versions for
जैसे
me,
भारत
and
से
I
भी
had
निकले,
that pure bhavna to fulfill it.
भारत से भी अच्छे बाहर निकल आए,
And in
भावना
fact,
है ना,
such good souls have emerged from the
फिर मैंने
service in
इसमें
the foreign
भावना देखी
lands,
बचपन से
some
लेके,
of them even better
अब
than the
भावना इसमें
Indian
ऊंचा ऊंचा गई
souls.
है ना,
And I had this bhavna in Pinkesh right
बुद्धि
from
थोड़ी है मेरे
childhood,
को,
and it's my bhavna that
भावना
has
है
made
ना,
him progress so much.
भावना से
It's not my
तुम
intellect,
गहरा,
it's my
भावना
bhavna,
में
it's
जो
my
सच्चाई है,
feelings. And that
निस्वार्थ
honesty that I
भाव,
have in my feelings, the
मानवमान की बुद्धि
selfless
से परे
attitude
है,
that I have in my feelings,
नेचुरल है,
and this ability to remain
यही तो
detached from the
नेचुरल
feeling
नेचर हमारी
of wanting
ऐसी हो
praise.
जाए ईश्वर के बच्चे की,
This is my natural nature, the natural
तो
nature
ये
of
अभी
God's
अभी समय
child.
है,
So, this is the
हम
time
सब बच्चों की
that
नेचर
all of
नेचुरल
our nature should
ईश्वर के
become
बच्चे हैं,
natural, like that of
ऐसे बच्चे
God's
एक ही है,
child. And we're not,
ऐसे सब बच्चे
we're
सब
all
भावना से
children
चल
of
रहे हैं,
God. And all of us are moving ahead with
यज्ञ
this
सेवा
pure
भावना से कर रहे
bhavna.
हैं,
We're doing service of the
यज्ञ का
yajna
कितना
with
खर्चा
this
है,
pure
जब
bhavna.
भावना आती है यज्ञ
This,
हमारा है,
there's so much
जितना सेवा
expenditure
करो उतना
in
अच्छा
the
है,
yajna, but how is it moving forward? It's because of the bhavna that we have.
दादी ये भावना की बात बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट
So
बात
this
है
it's a
हमारे
जरूर
very
जरूर,
पुरुषार्थ
हाँ
में।
this is
हाँ
a very important
और
thing that you
भावना
clarified
में
about pure
मैंने यहाँ
feelings
से
or
अभी
bhavna.
आपके जवाब से
And from your
समझा
answer, what I
कि
understood
भावना का
is that
आधार है
the basis
एक
for
डीप
this
पहचान
pure
और
feelings or
रियलाइजेशन
bhavna is a
आत्मा की
deep
और परमात्मा
realization
की
in the
कि मैं
soul,
किसकी हूँ
of the
और
soul itself,
पहचान।
and
तो
the
दादी आपने
recognition
एक
of
बार
God,
क्लास में इन 3
recognition of the
शब्दों को
fact that
बोला
who
कि
am I and
एक है
whom do I belong
समझ,
to. And
माना
you
कभी
talked
कभी
about
हम
these three
बोलते हैं
words in
आई
a
नो,
class. One is
दूसरा है
understanding, to
पहचान,
which we say I know.
रिकॉग्निशन,
Second is
और
recognition,
तीसरा है
and the third
रियलाइजेशन।
is realization.
मैं बता सकता हूँ,
Okay, so I'll just clarify the three
पहले
words.
पहले ये आज ये कहती हूँ, जानना,
One is knowing,
मानना,
two is
पहचान,
believing, three is recognition.
जानना तो
Knowing,
बुद्धि ने माना,
I know, then my intellect believed.
अच्छा माना,
It believed firmly.
भावना से अच्छा हुआ, पर नहीं ये भी ज़रूरी है, अंधविश्वास नहीं है,
Yes, it did work
प्रैक्टिकल है,
based on bhavna, but it's
मैंने
not blind
जाना है,
faith. And so it's necessary for the
माना है,
intellect to believe in
पहचान
something.
से प्राप्ति है,
And then I recognize, and through recognize, I experience attainments.
जो पहचान से प्राप्ति है ना उसने मुझे
So the
जानने में
attainment that I have received
बुद्धि ने
through
सहायता,
this
जब
recognition
माना ना तो रियलाइजेशन हुई,
has helped me
वो मानना था,
realize when I
मानने से रियलाइजेशन हुई, रियलाइजेशन से रियल, तो एक बार एक मैगजीन
when I
पढ़ाया करो,
understood
जब तक
something,
भूलता नहीं
then I
है,
experienced
रियल आईज खुल
realization.
गई,
And through realization, my real eyes
क्या
were
रियल है
opened.
वो खुल गई, फिर बीच में कभी ये भी कहा था जब रियलाइज करते हैं तो
So
रिहर्सल शुरू करते हैं अंदर पुरुषार्थ में,
when we realize, it's like a rehearsal of our effort
जैसे
making.
नाटक में एक्टर होता है,
Just like
स्टेज
an
पर आने से
actor
पहले
in a
रिहर्सल
drama,
करता है,
he rehearses
ऐसे
before he
रिहर्सल
actually
करता है
comes
जो
onto the
ऐसे
stage,
करे
and he
कि नाटक
rehearses
में
to
भूले नहीं,
perfection so that he doesn't get
अंदर ही अंदर
confused when
रियलाइजेशन
he's
से
playing
रिहर्सल
his
करते हैं
part.
अंदर,
So
रिहर्सल
internally,
करने
this
से
is that
फिर
rehearsal that
कभी
we
भी
have
कोई बात
to
आती है
keep
कंफ्यूज नहीं
having
होंगे,
so that we don't get confused
समझे,
when we're faced with a
रिहर्सल ठीक
situation.
होता है,
If we have rehearsed it well, we will
रियलाइजेशन से,
not get confused because we
रिहर्सल
have
की है ना, कोई
realization.
भी बात मुंझाएंगी नहीं, घबराएंगी नहीं,
And then we will not get afraid of anything and we won't get confused.
ओके, हो
Okay?
गया,
So
देखो कल ड्रामा देखो एक मिनट, कल आप सबको देख संकल्प आया
When I saw all of you, I
304
had
को
a thought
क्वेश्चन
yesterday
आंसर करती थी,
that
ज़्यादा थोड़ी
we'll
समय
have
लगाया।
question and answers today. But I
शायद
didn't
ये हो
keep
ना
on
सके।
having too many thoughts. I had just
कल का
one
क्लास
pure
अपना
thought.
काम किया, आज
In
दिन का आओ
yesterday's
अपना काम
class,
किया, ये अपना काम करो।
yesterday's
और
class
कल
was in itself. Today
स्वर्ग
morning, I
राज्य
spoke about
सबकी
something
प्राप्ति होती
else,
है ना,
and
ये
this was
भूलेगा
a
नहीं।
completely different attainment, isn't it? You will never forget this.
So the final question for Dadi is, Dadi just earlier described the difference in yad, in yoga and tapasya. So I just want to touch on tapasya again because tyag and tapasya are linked. And my understanding was in the beginning, in the 14 years when they were all in the bhatti, when they all came originally, a lot of time was spent in solitude and creating the energy of breaking what was old. So now there's a lot of expansions happening in the last 75 years where we are now. So a lot of time is spent in expansion. What is the tapasya that is required now to emerge the new?
दादी समझे बात कि जो आपने शुरू से तपस्या की बात उठाई याद और योग के साथ, लेकिन अभी आप शुरू में यज्ञ के शुरू में 14 साल जो तपस्या किया वो एकांत में बैठ कर के ऐसी एनर्जी को पैदा की ताकि वो जो पुरानी बात है वो टूटे, लेकिन अभी के समय अनुसार 75 इयर्स के बाद इतना विस्तार हुआ है और अभी हमको कौन सी तपस्या करनी है अभी के समय अनुसार जो हम नई संस्कार को और नई दुनिया को इमर्ज करें।
ओरिजिनल तपस्या
Origin
त्याग
is
बाबा से शुरू हुआ,
tapasya. Renunciation started with Baba.
बाबा से शुरू हुआ, बाबा के त्याग और तपस्या से,
And it was Baba's renunciation and tapasya.
आंखों से देख करके
And I have seen that
हम
with
लोग
my
को
own
जीवन में
eyes.
बाबा ने त्याग और तपस्या के
That
संस्कार बना दिए।
what was the quality of his own renunciation and tapasya, and that created a sanskar
अरे
of
शिवा
renunciation and
अभी कुछ
tapasya
भी
in
नहीं करते
our
हो, जो
lives.
हम सेवा करते थे, कर्मणा सेवा,
We did so much of karmana seva,
बर्तन मांजना, कपड़े
seva
धोना,
with the
सफा
physical
सुथरा,
body,
अन्न
of
साफ
cleaning
करना, मत
clothes,
पीसना,
of
सब हाथ से
washing
करते थे।
clothes, cleaning vessels,
लेकिन
cleaning
अंदर
food
से
grains. We used to do everything with our
कोई
own hands.
देहधारी की याद ना
But there
आए,
was no, we had
कोई
always this
पुराने समय
attention
की
that we
याद
should
ना
have
आए,
no remembrance of
कोई
any
आपस में
old
फालतू बात न
relationship,
करें।
any bodily
अभी
being.
जैसा अभी आप करो ना,
And we had
कर
this
सकते
attention
हो।
on ourselves that we shouldn't have any waste
फिर
chit
क्या
chat
है,
amongst ourselves.
इंटरेस्ट हो, लगन हो,
And you can have
जिसे
the same
पुरुषार्थ कहने की
practice
लगन है।
now, but you
मैंने
should
देखा
have the
है
interest to
जो
make this
हम लोगों
kind
ने
of an
पुरुषार्थ किया
elevated
था,
effort.
ऐसा
So,
पुरुषार्थ अभी
the
भी
kind
करते
of
आ रहे हैं,
effort
बहुतों
that
ने
we
किया,
have
कर
been
रहे हैं,
making, we still continue to make
कर
that
रहे हैं,
kind of effort. And a
परंतु जो
lot of you are
नेक्स्ट
also
लेवल,
making, but you need to
अभी तो अंत का समय
expand
है, वो तो आज थी,
and create
अभी अंत के
a
समय में
wave
भी
of this
ये सब
kind
जो
of
वृद्धि है
elevated effort.
सारे विश्व भर में,
And this is the
बाबा के
time for
त्याग और तपस्या
expansion.
के आधार से।
And so you have to create a wave of renunciation and tapasya in the
और
whole
बाबा बच्चों
world.
को देखकर
And
बच्चों ने
when
बाबा को देख
others,
करके फॉलो किया
just
है,
like the children have
जो
followed
फॉलो
the
करते
father,
हैं, बाबा का याद करो
the
बाप
ones
को,
who
फॉलो करो
follow,
ब्रह्मा बाबा को।
Baba always says, remember
तो
Shiv
दोनों
Baba and
अपने
follow
तपस्या में
Brahma Baba.
चाहिए, याद
And both of these we
शिव
need
बाबा,
in tapasya. Remembrance for Shiv
बुद्धि
Baba.
एक से लगी हुई
The
हो,
intellect
एक
should
एक
be
स्थिति हो,
only with one.
एकाग्रता की शक्ति हो।
Absolute concentration. The
भले
power of
एकांत में अभी
concentration is
लोग कितने भी
experienced in
बैठे
this
हैं,
stage.
पर एकांत
No
माना
matter
एक
how
में
many
अंत
people are
में
sitting
जाने की
around me,
हावी,
but I
कौन
still
है
go
कैसा है,
within
कौन नहीं
myself in
कैसा है, कौन
solitude.
जैसे मनुष्य बाहर
I,
में
I have to have this
कोई बात
interest to
जानने
go
की
into
इच्छा होती है,
solitude and
कहीं भी
really
होगा बुद्धि वहीं
understand
जाएंगी, बुद्धि वहीं,
who is that one.
बुद्धि वहीं जाएंगे।
So if I'm
तो
having
तपस्या
interest
मानना
towards
ही है,
something, automatically my
हमारे
intellect will
विक्रम
go
नाश हो जाए,
towards that one. So
आत्मा शुद्ध
tapasya
शांत
means
श्रेष्ठ बन जाए।
my sins
एक
will
प्रैक्टिकल
get
रूप से देखो,
burnt by this
शुद्ध
kind of a
शांत
practice.
श्रेष्ठ।
And in a practical way,
अच्छा अभी
I will
मैं
become clean,
शिवानी और
pure,
पूनम
and
को
elevated.
बुलाती हूँ,
And I'm going to call Poonam and Shivani.
उन्होंने अपना अंदर विचार सुनाया था प्रैक्टिकल क्या करने का भी।
They actually expressed
आओ
to me
शिवानी,
their thoughts of what they want to do practically.
माइक दे दो, दोनों यहाँ मेरे, शिवानी यहाँ, ये कहती है,
She says,
तो प्रेजेंट समय संसार में
in the present
में
times in the
बड़ी
world,
इंटरेस्टेड बात है,
it's a very
अगर
interesting
माँ
thing.
बनना हो तो कैसे,
If you want to become a
वो
mother,
कहती है बच्चा बनना हो तो कैसा,
then
मैंने कहा
how?
सत्य
And
की स्थापना का
she
मिसाल हूँ आप
asks,
लोगों,
if I want to become a child,
यहाँ
then
इधर आ जाओ
how?
मेरे
So they're actually examples
यहाँ आओ
of the creation of the golden
यहाँ
age.
हाँ यहाँ तुम यहाँ आओ अच्छा सुनो हाँ बोलो पहले शिवानी
Om Shanti. I have been in Gyan since I was born, so I've had the fortune of always having Baba with me. And in the spirit of honesty, when I was little, I was absolutely terrified of Dadi. And with very good reason, because she scared me. She was the only one who could look me back directly in the eye with the same intensity that I could look at her. And there's a photo somewhere of me when I'm 3 years old, hiding behind my mom as Dadi's trying to give me toli. And as I grew up, I was still scared because soon she started picking me out in class and making me come on stage and speak. And after a while, as I saw this pattern happening, I began on the plane here. I would come up with a few little words to say so that I wouldn't be completely lost when she called me up. But then on those days that I had come up with something to say, she didn't call me. So earlier today we were sharing with Dadi some stories, and one of them that she wanted me to share with you was my Lokik friends act sometimes differently around me. And so they never say any bad language in front of me. They'll say, they'll begin to say something and they'll cover their mouths and say, "Oh, sorry, Shivani." Say, "You don't have to act differently in front of me. Like, just be yourself." He said, "No, Shivani, you don't understand. You're like our mother. We can't speak like this in front of you." So that was a very, very interesting point that Dadi enjoyed when I shared with her.
ओके कहती है मेरे को जैसे
She
माँ
says
समझते हैं
that
बच्चा
everyone considers me to be a mother and not a
Baba
child.
and Dadi have been talking a lot about being the example, being the example. Let people, just your face reveal, let your actions reveal. So like that, in that regard, Dadi was appreciating, wow, they think she's a mother, and here she is, 15 years old, and high school child. Likewise, being an example, they'll pick her out as being the most trustworthy. So if they're doing a science experiment and they want to make sure that there's no cheating, no special favor for your friend, just because your friend's egg cracked, or had bad data, something, that we need one student who can monitor without giving bias to your friend. And so the whole class voted who should be this soul. And they said, we want Shivani to be the representative. So like that, Dadi's just appreciating Shivani as a sample and asking all of us to be the same. What did
अभी
Dadi?
जैसे वो शिवानी का भाषण होता है ना भी शिवानी का भी हो गया
And just like that
What did Dadi want?
other Shivani speaks on the television, I want this Shivani also to speak.
मैं कल करुणा को बोलेंगी
I'm
Dadi
going
is
to
asking
tell
Shivani to
Karuna
get to the
Bai
point of doing lectures.
to
रखो रवि का रखो रवि को बुला के इसका जूता दिल्ली में लेके जाओ यार इस शिवानी का भाषण चलता रहे अच्छा यहाँ आओ और शिवानी कहती है तो यहाँ से हारमोनी हाउस में पूछा तो तुम सरेंडर हो इसे
they asked her in Harmony House, "Are you a surrendered sister?"
सरेंडर हो
I was telling another story to Dadi how the other day a brother in my group had asked if I was a surrendered sister. And I had to tell him, no, I'm actually not even 16 yet. And when I told this to Dadi, of course, she looked at me and she said, "What are you talking about? Why did you say that? You are surrendered." So I'm officially, brother, wherever you are, changing my answer. I am completely surrendered to Baba.
And this aspect ties very nicely with the class that Gopi Ben gave to the parents' retreat, which was about the difference between packaging and intention. And so Shivani's heart is surrendered, whether or not her body is actually on paper that way.
बोलो ये माँ बेटी different लगती है ना
The mother and the child
ऐसे उसको
look so
समझा रहा है
different.
और इसने भी ये मेरी नहीं है बाबा की मेरी नहीं
And
है
the mother
बाबा
has
की
taken care of her in such a way, in a very detached manner, that she's not mine, she's Baba's.
She asked the question for all of us to think about: what am I doing to make myself worthy of Baba's trust? And normally questions like that take me a very long time to answer, but within a very short time, I immediately had my answer, which was that
अच्छा तुम आएगा क्या
I had
इसको
full,
बुलाओ
I did right by Baba in taking care of this little Devi soul.
भाई इसको माइक एक मिनट दो जान कहाँ जान आएगा क्या
She's asking Brother John to come on stage.
Golden age.
दिखाओ सबको हाँ
Okay.
परिचय दो अपना Who are you क्या करता है कैसे करता है
I am Alan. I'm Shanti. I've been here since 2006. My experience with Baba is the best. I've been sharing this speech. It's my 5th time sharing it. The same, again and again. Okay. I'm gonna tell you again. So, it all begins in 2006. I didn't know how to communicate with Baba. Then I grew up. My dad showed me the way. He teach me everything. With the movie we made, I learned a lot of things. Now I know how to communicate with Baba. And I remember the first time is the best time. So the first time I met Baba is the best time. So, what do I do? What do I do is, I'm a simple...
बाबा कौन है वो बताना है दिखाना है
You have to reveal Baba and you have to show Baba.
Who is Baba where is Baba
Baba.
अच्छा तेरा
That's
कौन
Baba.
बाबा तुमको ज़्यादा प्यार करता है तुम बाबा प्यार करता है
Does Baba love you more or you love Baba more?
We love each other the same.
देखो अच्छा जान बोलो क्या करता है
Om Shanti. We just did a film, and we are receiving the fruit of this, and it has been unexpected, overwhelming. We went to a trip to the south, and on the way back we stopped in Mumbai, and we were just going to be audiences like you are.
Dadi's asking to have
And
the
we
film
went
being
to
shown
sit on the
tomorrow.
stage with Daddy, and
It was an honor to sit with Daddy.
it was a wonderful experience for the both of us. But like I say, it's been overwhelming, and thank you very much.
ओके 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 अच्छा बैठ के योग करो 2 मिनट योग करो दोनों बैठो
Om Shanti.
यहाँ यहाँ यहाँ
Leave the mic on the stage.
योग करो.
Just before meditation, I just wanted to mention that Dadi Janki is leaving for Shantivan tonight. She won't be here for Amritvela, but Amritvela for all the double foreigners will be here in the Harmony Hall because there are thousands of people waiting for Dadi in Shantivan. And as you know, Dadi will be leaving for London on the 2nd. That means she will be coming up to Gansevo only in the new year. So we have to wish Dadi, first of all, in advance, Happy New Year. And also, it is 1st of January is Dadi's birthday. So we may go down to see her on the 1st, but we can wish her in advance Happy New Year and Happy Birthday. So we have to say it together.
तुम सब अच्छे बन गए ये मेरा birthday अच्छा.
So we
If
have
you
to
all
say it
become
together.
good, then my birthday is very good.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
हो गया. चलो okay.
And we
The
thank
3 minutes
Dadi
silence.
for being with us yesterday and today. And I'm sure each one will take with us the jewels Dadi has shared with us.